Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about Montaigne. He is remembered today for his collection of essays. He devoted his life after early retirement to philosophy and until his death kept on writing and rewriting his essays, polishing them with every new pearl of wisdom he found on second reflection, or in fact third reflection. Today we are going to talk about one of his short essays entitled Judgements on God's Ordinances Must Be Embarked Upon with Prudence. In the 16th century, the Renaissance has established itself as a powerful force in Europe. It was preparing the way for the Enlightenment project by educating reason its proper role. For Montaigne, the problem lay in determining the proper role, or better put, limiting its role. He could fathom that ultimately reason and religion will be at loggerheads, so reason must bow out when it needs to. Otherwise, religion will be eaten up by logic and faith will be the first victim. Montaigne begins the essay thus: the real field and subject of deception are things unknown. Firstly, because their very strangeness lends them credence. Second, because they cannot be exposed to our usual order of argument, so stripping us of the means of fighting them. The field of the unknown is traversed by many experts, the astrologists, the priests, the statisticians with their forecasting software, and the main objective of these experts is to provide a reasonable prediction of the events to follow, but at the cost of judging the past events. Montaigne is more interested in their interpretations of the past rather than their predictions, because what justifies their prediction is the justification of their past. According to him, there are certain reasons that can be provided for the past that are obvious to everyone or known by everyone, and they require no further interrogation. But then there are also inquiries about the past events that try to interpret the unknown. These justifications are unknown and remain so because human rationality can only guess in the dark what could have happened and why. There can never be enough knowledge about these events, no matter how strong our power of observation, Montaigne continues. And so it turns out that nothing is so firmly believed as whatever we know least about, and that no persons are more sure of themselves than those who tell us tall stories, such as alchemists and those who make prognostications, judicial, astrologers, chiromancers, doctors, and id genus omne. Here is an interesting claim. There is an inverse relationship between knowledge and belief. The less we know about something, the more we believe in it. And conversely, the more we know about something, the less we believe in it. The more we rationalize, the less we believe. In simple terms, here is an example. Until Copernicus came and proved through the power of his observation, adding to our knowledge that the earth revolves around the sun, not the other way round, we believed firmly that the sun revolved around the earth because we did not know that. Therefore, knowledge can be a death blow to belief. But Montaigne is not interested in scientific claims. He is more interested in the encroachment of rational explanations on religious domain. He acknowledges the purpose of rational explanations and their utility, but only if they know their limits. Proving that the earth revolves around the sun is a great feat. But there are equally wrong usages of these rational explanations, as Montaigne explains here. What I consider wrong is our usual practice of trying to support and confirm our religion by the success of happy outcome of our undertakings. Our belief has enough other foundation without seeking sanction from events. People who have grown accustomed to such plausible arguments well suited to their taste are in danger of having their faith shaken when the turn comes for events to prove hostile and unfavorable. Let's explain this through a simple example. What he's saying is that if, for example, there are two sporting teams, one Christian, the other Jewish, the victory of Christian team would not mean that the Christian religion has won. Obviously, this is such a trivial example that one can easily laugh off at it. But change the scenario and imagine two armies, one belonging to one religion and the other belonging to another religion or sect. And imagine one winning at a price of a huge human cost. That is precisely what Montaigne wants to address. He says, as in the religious wars which we are now fighting, after those who had prevailed at the battle of La Roche-l'Abeille had had a great feast day over the outcome, exploiting their good fortune as a sure sign of God's approval for their faction. They then had to justify their misfortunes at Montaigne and Jarnac as being fatherly scourges and chastisements. To equate victory on the battlefield as victory of one side of God is blasphemy according to him. He wants to clarify the fact that the justification game once employed, that is to say, once the public starts to put religious explanation at the forefront of worldly events, then it must be employed equally for winning and losing. And it creates weak believers because then the winning on the battlefield will strengthen faith and the lost will weaken faith. On the other hand, as Montaigne has explained earlier, worldly events are not the guiding principle of our belief system. He reiterates the same belief in different words towards the conclusion of the essay. God wishes us to learn that the good have other things to hope for and the wicked other things to fear than the chances and mischances of this world. A person believing or disbelieving as a consequence of the way the history is unfolding in front of his eyes will never be able to stick to one's faith. He will continue to change his belief system wherever fate decides to turn the wheel of history. Faith is greater than fate. We need not inquire into the reasons hidden in divine providence. It has its own way of running the world. We must keep our eyes lower on the ground and keep guard of our own heart and faith in every victory and under every loss. I leave you with the last reason that Montaigne provides why we should not overreach our rational project. We must be content with the light which the sun vouchsafes to shed on us by its rays. For a man to lift up his eyes to seek a greater light in the sun itself, let him not find it strange if he is blinded as a penalty for his presumption. Thank you, everyone.